Hi, Eric. It'll take its sweet time. Then you can take it out.
Emily, I see you choose cereal. I see you choose cereal. Okay, folks, we're going to get ready to roll it here. First off, welcome to tonight's induction of the 2024 Glenville State University Curtis Elam Hall of Fame class. Tonight's induction class is a very special group representing several eras, and a total of 3 different GSU sports are represented. This class has truly made some history. Your common Hall of Fame induction includes coaches with a lot of wins or student athletes who put up strong numbers and earned accolades such as All-Conference or All-American. This group tonight has not only produced these kinds of accomplishments, but has also made history by being transcendent individuals within their programs here that really set these programs on paths going steadily forward. It's a very unique class. The common thread with this class is that there's a lot of folks that were truly program players that really gave to this university. Their accomplishments individually were major boons to even larger accomplishments by their programs and the institution. I want you to consider the exclusiveness of being a Hall of Famer. All told, in over 120 years of athletics at this institution, there have been over 16,000 student athletes, coaches, and administrators. Out of that, only a select few have made it to this night to have their plaques hanging on that wall out at the Waco Center. Tonight we have inductees number 132 through 136. That's how exclusive it is. So big shout to these folks here for getting here to this night. You know, Dr. Manchin, he's getting honored tonight as well up at Potomac State, and he wanted me to pass along, just his how much he's a big history buff, how much he loves this night and this group, and. But in his behalf here, making these opening remarks is Vice President, Executive Director of the GSU Foundation, Coach Dave Hutchison. And he just completed another amazing record year of fundraising. And he's been a very vibrant asset to this institution. What he's done, not just when he was head football coach, but what he's done in his role as an administrator. Coach David Hutchison.
Thank you. What a wonderful night. Dr. Manchin wanted me to tell you how good of an athlete he was back in 1972, but I'm going to pass on that. He said this is an academic award, so I guess we'll have to read the fine print if that's what he's getting or not. But congratulations to this class. Wow, it is so awesome to be with you guys tonight. Got to give a personal shout out to Blake back there, Coach Tasker. this weekend's kind of been sponsored by Shades. So last night we were at Shades and he was telling me he wasn't going to do stories. So I said, oh, okay, we won't do stories. But I got just a brief one. The first person I met when I got to Glenville in 2008 was Blake Tasker. And it's funny because I was up here at the Lilly Gymnasium, parked my car, got out after driving from Michigan by myself, down 47, trying to figure out where in the world I was at. And then you see Grizzly Adams here with Blake as the first person, and I've loved every second since. And it's truly the spirit of what Glenville's all about, the people, and the again, Blake, love you, and so excited for you and the whole class this week. I was watching College Game Day this morning, and it was kind of neat, and it made me think of a certain couple here in the audience. They had the super fan from Alabama. He's went to every single away game and home game since 1992, and he got up there and he'd never met Nick Saban. And so obviously Nick Saban's now on College Game Day, and so he went up there and made it a big ordeal, and this fan got to speak. And the first thing he says, I want to thank Nick Saban and Jesus Christ. And so, Pat McAfee did whatever, but I would like to thank Ike and Sue Morris and Jesus Christ for all you guys did. Again, thank you all. Congratulations, class of 2024. So excited to celebrate with you and listen and learn of all the wonderful memories you made here. And again, congrats.
Okay, as we move on here, we're getting ready to hit the dinner. Special shout of thanks to the Aramark food staff and their leadership of Alex Garrett, Jordan Squires, and Shannon Mayo. And we want to give a special shout out here. Let's give it up for Chef White and Chef Bobby for everything they did here tonight preparing the food. Before we do that with the blessing, I want to bring up this guy. He's one of our titled administrators there in the athletic department. He is our game day administrator, and the job that he does, he's in his third year with us. Now, I've known Willie for over 40 years now. Oh my gosh, David. But it's important so much that when folks come to Glenville, we want them to feel like they leave here feeling like they were treated well from the other team, the officials. Just with student athletes on visits here, and Willie has embraced that and took that to another level, and the things you all don't see behind the scenes, that every official comes here, he writes a personal note, and we give them a snack, and a personal note of thanks for them for the service that they do, for college athletics, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, but I'm so proud of what he does, and to have him on our team, he's going to give us our blessing tonight, Willie Furr.
Let us bow our head in a word of prayer, please. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've blessed us with. First and foremost, you gave us the gift to get up, because this is a gift, not a given right. And I thank you for this gift. We thank you for allowing us all to gather here this evening to honor these special athletes, these special people who gave so much of their time and their life to Glenville State University. We're so thankful for them. We pray that they remember how special and how much they meant to us and what they gave to this university during their time here. Let us remember again throughout the state, throughout this meal, how blessed the meal that we're about to receive. We thank you for the gift that you've given us today again, and let us pray that when we all leave here this evening, we are enjoying ourselves with our time here, but when we leave, we ask and pray that you'll take us all home safely to our endeavors and destinations. Again, we ask all these things in your great, holy, and precious, loving name. We love you with all our heart, Jesus, and thank you for loving us. Amen.
Okay, now as we're ready to serve over here, they're ready to serve us. There's going to be two lines. We'll be going down each side of the table, so we don't have to line up back. We can take, it's going to start from the nearest tables over there. We're ready to go. It's dinner time, and we'll be back with you after dinner. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what, I think this is Airmark. Like Airmark, or the XGA the SGA,
Okay, folks, we're going to get to the induction portion of our show now. Again, continue to finish up your dinner. Again, we do have more desserts back there and more drinks as we go, so really appreciate your attendance here tonight. As everyone's finishing up with dinner, I want to again recognize some important individuals and groups here this evening. First, members of the Hall of Fame committee that are with us tonight. We have Bill Willie, Taylor Broadwater, Steve Gandy, Gary Ray, and Tim Moore. Big shout to them folks right here. And as of tonight, we now have 131 members. We're going to have 136 by night's end into the Glenville Hall of Fame. And again, that's out of over 16,000 student athletes over the years. And we have several of our past inductees in the house tonight. And I'm going to get a few names here. I'm going to have them stand. So no, we've got Gary Nottingham, Terry Kendall, Gary Ray, Steve Gandy, Jerry Milliken, Janet Bailey, Orville Harper, Kim Lewis, Ike and Sue Morris, and John Pratt. We would ask that all those folks stand here. Let's give them a shout. The existing Hall of Famers. And I'm going to tag on to that, and I got to give proper credit to Mr. Steve Gandy for this. We were talking out front here. We really want to make it a tradition because we'll get a class photo of this induction class. But it would be nice if we then had all the existing Hall of Famers that are here to get a picture, either in front of this or over in the corner, and we would have that keepsake forever and ever. I think that would be a really nice ad. So let's do that here at the end. That would be very nice. I want to give a good shout out to our Glenville alumni, Mr. Dustin Crutchfield. He's doing a tremendous job. Where's Dustin? Let's give it up for Dustin. All this staff here. And also for all the assistance with that, with Dustin, with Veda Woodford, with the GSU Foundation. Let's get it up there for Veda. I want to give a shout out for all the marketing efforts there. Really, for events such as this, and everything goes into that, from marketing and public relations. We have, from Glenville Public Relations, Joey Mitchell in-house. We have our own sports information director, Jagger Furr. And we have our new director of Pioneer Media. He's back there troubleshooting right now, Paul Nagy. Let's give it up for our marketing people. We've got Marissa Howe, one of our volleyball players here. She's taking the photos tonight. We'll give about her here with the protocol. At this time, I would like all the members of the athletic department on hand to please stand. Members of the athletic department. Yeah, I'm going to brag on the people there for a moment there. Again, last year, we finished 5th in the Commissioner's Cup, which was the highest finish over the last 26 years. And in the middle of that, we had a conference championship in women's golf and wrestling ended up 12th in the country. Men's golf team made the NCAA tournament. But this is what I want our folks to know, especially our alumni in the house here, is that 13 of our 17 teams in the spring had team GPAs over 3.0. I want to give a big shout out to that group. We had a 4-0 ceremony the other night. I want to give a big shout to our academic oversight coordinator in our department, Coach Dave McIntyre over here. He's doing a tremendous job with that. And then within our administration there, I want again, I want to give we have our SWA, Kristen Tuno back here. She's serves that role for us. We have, and besides Willie and Jagger, who we've mentioned, my assistant athletic director, Stephen Dye, back here. And I know my life's a lot more peaceful with him on board. Love having him. back here in the Pioneer Blue. Strength conditioning coordinator, we got Isaiah Myers, head athletic trainer Jeanette Leal, Mr. Everything, Bill Lilly, who does it all. He's back here. Our mental health liaison, Kiara Perkins, our admin assistant, J.C. Johnson, and I want to mention our cheer coach, Bridget Carr, for what she does, in terms of the international recruitment. We went from 6 international student athletes here to over 40 now, and the work she does with our coaches as well. But big shout out to that whole group. Yeah. And then a young lady who gave us over 40 years of service and a big chunk of her career in the athletic department. We got a plaque out there honoring her, Miss Mandy Freimeyer. Let's get it up for Mandy back there. Yeah. And of course, to tag on what Hutch had said earlier there, very important. I want to extend a massive thank you from not only the athletic department, but the entire university for the kindness and generosity of the Morris family. Thank you all so much for everything. Okay, now what we've been waiting for here, we got the class of 2024. Established in 2001, the purpose of the Glenville State University Curtis Elam Hall of Fame is to recognize, honor, and promote the accomplishments, achievements, leadership, and contributions of former athletes, members of the media, and other individuals who've advanced the athletic programs at Glenville State University. So again, we're 24 years into this. It's been an amazing run, and we're excited to have this group. Now our protocol here is when I bring up the individual, they're going to give their acceptance speech. Dustin is going to give me some assistance tonight on getting your plaque over here, your wooden plaque. And then we'll get a picture here. Marissa will get a picture. And then tonight, again, we want to do a group picture. Now, the plaques have been put up out there. Your plaque is up. They've been covered up in the Waco Center. And as this ceremony is happening, we have our public safety officers out there going to remove it. It's going to be revealed. And the building is being left unlocked where y'all can go out there and get some pictures with your plaque tonight when everything is said and done. This first inductee, I tell you what, we've got some... what this young lady did in her career here. Again, she played, had averaged 15.4 points per game in 09, in 2010, 22.6, 1,505 career points. I think Coach Stoller just missed her there at the end, right, by like 6 points. But I got, talked to a couple things here. I was talking to Denny Fitzpatrick, and he was talking about when him and Coach Harold went up to see her, and Coach Fitzpatrick said, I knew in my mind when I saw her play in the showcase, the reason she stood out was her work ethic. She was from the beginning, said she was a great player before she knew she was great. And Coach Harold said, her athleticism, said he knew she was going to be a special player at the WBIC. She could score on all 3 levels. And I was talking to Coach Kim Stevens yesterday and today, and she just went on about Donita. Said she was so much fun to play with, so much fun to be around at practice. Said just an amazing personality. But said the greatest thing about Donita is she said whenever we came out of that locker room, she said we knew we had the best player on the floor, that she was on our side. And that's a great statement here coming from Coach Kim. But anyway, an honor here. I know she's been serving in the military for some time now, and she was deployed. We had to work out with the family for her to be able to come here and join us tonight. But our first inductee, Donita Adams.
Beautiful words. Good evening, Glenville family. I want to start off first by giving my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the opportunity today to say I'm just so grateful for him to bring me here today. I am not me without him, so I just want to recognize him. Also, there are some people I would like to recognize and that have left a lasting impression in my life, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention them today. My mother, You introduced me to my Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ. You instilled ambition in me, faith, determination, value, and morals, and how to be a virtuous woman. Thank you for working 2 jobs so that my sisters and I could have a roof over our heads and clothes on our back. To my godmother, thank you for loving me and supporting me and making me feel a part of your family. I remember us in this exact room 16 years ago for the end of the basketball season. Your genuine smile and tears said it all. Thank you for always having my back. My family, I'm going to address you all a little later, but I just want you all to know that you are the reason that I fight so hard. And I pray to be a living example of Christ for you. Never give up on Jesus. Coach Bailey, heard your name, you're in here somewhere. I love that woman. What a beautiful soul. She loved the Lord and she helped me with my faith, and she even invited me to church. I was a student aid worker for her in the athletic department, and I truly enjoyed her, especially when we volunteered for the Special Olympic events. Thank you. Coach Perry, I don't know if he's in here, in the Coach Perry family, but he was my track and field coach as well as a basketball strength and conditioning coach. And he made me really strong for the season. And so Coach Perry, he wanted to win just like myself, so I love that about him. The Graham family and Miss Joy, thank you for your home cooked meals. They made me feel at home and a part of a family as well. There wasn't a lot of Black people in town, so to see us united and looking out for each other was uplifting and refreshing. I couldn't have done none of this without my teammates. From Melanie to Miranda, Rachel, Casey, Lauren, Altop, Karina, Mallory, Sarah, Kim, Tiffany, Autumn, Christian, Beth, Sierra, and Jenny, and so many more ladies who made my job so much easier on the court. They pushed me in practice, they kept me smiling, and they motivated me to be a better teammate, friend, and sister. To all of my coaches, Coach Harold, Coach Nikki, Alltop, Coach Fitz, Bunky, and Coach D, the faculty and staff, Glenville women's basketball supporters, we had the best. Jamie, I see you in here, thank you. And the community, this Hall of Fame honor is nothing without you all. You made Glenville, West Virginia a second home to me. Since I could remember when asked by people, how long have you been playing basketball? I would tell them, since I was in my mother's womb. Basketball came so natural to me. Basketball knew me and I knew basketball. I would take my basketball to the blacktop outside and shoot and dribble for hours. I love the feeling of competing and winning in everything that I did. How did I become the player and person I am today? Years of neighborhood, playing against the neighborhood boys, and from my sisters, Daisha and Desiree. Desiree was the best defender I knew, so I figured if my moves worked on her, I could score on her, then I could score on anybody. Desiree helped me to develop my left hand because up until the 9th grade, I was unstoppable with only my right hand. Daisha, she helped me with my post game. The drop step move, the hook shot, she was like the Lisa Leslie of the family. And she was probably a better shooter than me too. My little sister Samantha wasn't born until I was a freshman in college, but she helped me later in my basketball career. She always wanted to play me. I can recall the last time that we played and she gave me a concussion, so I won't be playing her again. I told my nephews, Jamal, David, Amari, and Braylon, that they will not beat me until they reach 16. They're 17, 16, 14, and 9, so y'all pray for me. Erica and Bailey, Auntie is retired, but I will train you in whatever sport you want. My brother Donald's here. I just want to thank you for always having my back and signing me up for random one-on-one basketball games. Growing up, there wasn't much trainers as today. There wasn't YouTube, nor could I afford it. So I was self-taught. When I got to college, I met some amazing male basketball players, Anthony Kimball, Gabe, Lawrence, and Terrence, just to name a few, who got in the gym with me to show me some skills that I can add to my game. And I am forever grateful for each one of you for seeing something in me that I could not see in myself. My path to Glenville State College was not your typical path. My goal was to play Division I basketball and to play in the WNBA for the Houston Comets. Let's just say God's plans are not our plans, his thoughts are not our thoughts, nor is our ways his ways. I received my first Division I scholarship in the 6th grade in Silvermore High School. I was playing in an exposure camp that we were talking about earlier, going into my senior year in high school, and when the next day I woke up, my knee was swollen. Didn't know what happened. I've never had an injury to this magnitude, so I later on found out that I tore my meniscus. And psychologically, that really affected me on the court, and I lost a lot of my Division I scholarships. In that same exposure camp, Glenville saw me, and because of their tenacity and their overwhelming commitment to recruiting me is why I decided to sign. That is how the relationship was formed. Freshman year, I had a little mixed feelings about Glenville. I love the independence, I love playing the sport, but I was missing my family and my home. People didn't know if I was going to stay or not because I always had my bags packed. It was the running joke around town. That same year, I met my best friend, Melanie, who was relentless on the court, and we both believed that we could change the hearts of this town. We were the only 2 black females on the team, yet alone 2 of the 5 black women on campus. With the limited visibility of the community that had to black women, it made me realize that I had to talk a certain way and act because it was a direct reflection of how black people were perceived. I was always told I had an older spirit, but this made me grow up quickly. Coach Harrell's era was the hardest and most challenging and difficult basketball experience I've ever had. It prepared me for the coaches to come, assisted me with my own coaching style and in life. In preseason requirements, we had to run a 6-minute and 30-second 1 mile. I think it was like a 3.5 mile loop, weights, and a 62-second championship run. I cried every preseason workout. There was a time I was going to quit and go home, but there was a moment in practice when things got just a little heated, but there was a time where Coach Harrell talked to me, I talked to him, I heard him, and then I stayed, and the rest was history. Freshman year, I was a role player. I did what I needed to do for my team to be successful. Sophomore year was the breakout year for me. Everyone doubted us that year because we lost a lot of talent. We lost about 6 seniors. We lost the freshman of the year. And so they looked at that sophomore year as a failure almost. But in that same year, we went all the way to the conference semifinal against Fairmont State, which we should have beat them. My teammates were fighters. We didn't have heart. We didn't have size, but we had heart. Junior year, I barely played. I had a lot of injuries. I probably should have just redshirted. And senior year is when I met Coach Bunky and Coach D, who turned me into an offensive machine. It was an honor to be a part of the coaching selection committee my senior year to select the coach that will pivotal point in the Glenville history, Coach Bunky. His system, the 5 in and the 5 out, it was very unorthodox, but it worked. He never took it easy on me. He expected nothing less than my absolute best. He would tell me all the time, you were going to be the leading scorer this year. I told him, I just won a championship. Under his leadership, we did set some NCAA Division II records. We had the most 3-pointers scored in a single game, and we actually tripled the amount of wins that we won my junior year. Coach Bunky was the fresh air that Glenville needed to transcend the women's basketball program to the next level. So even though I was not a direct recipient of the championships, I was so glad and happy that Coach Kim, my teammate, my girl, was able to excel the program and win an NCAA championship. Glenville State University and Hall of Fame voting committee, thank you for considering me for this prestigious honor. I will forever be grateful. I am forever a Lady Pioneer. Thank you.
Okay, a little quick postscript on that. My gosh, when Willie and I took Coach Bunky up to Pittsburgh a couple of years back, he was making that very point, that system, that first year, the way it worked, how it set the table for everything that came after that, and the role that Donita played in the success of that first team. They were 22 a game, right? But I tell you what, our second inductee, I'll tell you, I'm witness to the testimony on this young man. I was working over at Wesleyan, coaching track, back in the day, and Wesleyan had won football championships in 02 and 03, and they were coming up to play Glenville in 04. And man, we were down having coffee on a Monday morning, and it was the week of the Glenville game, and the defensive staff said, "Jesse, we got to talk. We got to talk." And we had coffee, and they said, "We got to talk to you about your alma mater." They said, "We got to talk about this receiver." I said, "Okay, Antonio Carter, what about him?" They said, "He's a dude." I said, "I don't know if we can cover him." And I said, we've looked at that film, we've been watching that film, and I just don't think we got back and cover him. And the ins and outs, they said, the way he said, he's so smart. He always makes the right cut, always makes the right decision, and he doesn't drop anything. And anyway, that week, Glenville beat Wesleyan 34-30 and moved on. And he ended up being, as noted in the profile, the Offensive Player of the Year. And I want you to think about this. How many wide receivers ever win the Heisman Trophy? How many wide receivers do you ever see, NFL MVP? You don't see it. It's quarterbacks, running backs. This guy got Offensive Player of the Year in our league. I think that says everything you need to know. We're excited that he is going into our Hall of Fame, Antonio Carter.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Start off, not a big talker, so this is gonna be short and sweet. I'm super duper nervous being up here, but we're gonna get through it together. All right. So anyway, I got my little thing written, so I'm just gonna go off of that, and then it's gonna be short and sweet. First and foremost, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, none of this would be possible. I was blessed with the talent and ability to play football, and I'm being inducted into Glenville State's Hall of Fame. I'm super appreciative of that. And who would have known that one day I will be inducted into Glenville State Hall of Fame, being from Orlando, Florida, and things like that. But the one person who did was God. He knew it. So anyway, I had the honor of being surrounded by a great coaching staff and a group of players who motivated me daily. The opportunity at Glenville came at the perfect time. I was leaving one school, trying to find another, and just so happened my brother Nolan is the reason I started playing football. He was already here, and Coach Schaffner was the coach at the time, and he wound up talking to Coach Schaffner, let him know about me, and I wound up in coming to Glenville, and the rest is history. And, what was that? Oh yeah, as a young man, I grew up without a father, but my mom made sure it was a personal mission that she raised me and my two brothers to be a man the best way she could. You know what I'm saying? With her being a female and all that, but she helped us out, kept us on the straight path. And my eldest brother Jermaine, he stepped up to be the father I didn't have the best way he knew how. Then I remember this one spring day in 2003, I received a call from my brother Nolan that my mom had suffered a stroke. And it's just the strength he exuded during that process was, I swear, it was supernatural. He made sure that I didn't miss a beat during school, and I'm forever grateful for that, bro. Yeah, I love you, boy. You already know, bro. During that trying times in my life, Lord, the Lord kept me. He is indeed faithful. I've been blessed with 3 wonderful kids and a granddaughter. My daughter Destiny, my son Antonio, and my youngest daughter Janaya. Then my little granddaughter, which I call my little stinky brother Aubrey. I wish she could have made it, but she couldn't make it up here. And to my wife for 18 years, Tiffany, I love you, girl. You already know. Then I just want to thank you for all your support. and always being there for me no matter what. I love you. And I want to thank Glenville State for acknowledging me, for all the hard work I put in while I was here at Glenville playing football, going to school, graduating, and things of that nature. And I just want to end with saying it's a great day to be a Pioneer. Love y'all.
Okay, our next inductee, again, this guy, has been in the record books as a prolific tackler, a relentless defender, sideline to sideline defender on the defensive end, and had a great career as a coach here, long and extended career. This guy he's a pioneer. He is a true pioneer. And got a little comment here from again, one of our big supporters here in town, Doug Cottrell, and he offered this up on Blake. He said, if anyone wonders why or how Blake became such a positive face of the Pioneers for so long, all they had to do is just meet his family. His mother and dad and his 3 sisters are amazing people. Blake has been the best friend anyone could ask for the last 15 years. And not only is Glenville State University lucky that he is a Pioneer, because I am very blessed to call him my best friend. And I think it says everything about Blake and his family. Thank you, Doug. Our next inductee, Blake Tasker.
In their moment, and what it took for them to be here, and for this community, this institution, this community, to put me here, I mean, it's amazing. It really is amazing. Give me a second. You all heard the cliche. It takes a village, right? Coach just said that like Doug wrote. And I'm asking you, and when I say this, you're going to understand what I'm saying. But are you going to understand what it means to me when I say it? If you understand, do you ever steal your own sugar? Like you're used to it. Up and down, out on the mountain, up on the farm. Fungi Pie, Morris Marriott, LBH, Old Plum Jack. I'm dead serious right now. If you understand what that means to me, please stand up. That's my village.
Our next inductee, again, this is with all the inductees talk about people that make this place so special. And we've had, some inductees over the last decade here. It's a conversation that Steve Gandy and I had about how special certain individuals are. Like Sue Beth is like a mom to all of us, what Jack Woodard did and what, and that's part of what makes football so special. And this man spent close to 4 decades working as a video coordinator, was a fan of both the national runner-up teams in football. Remember, we traveled to all over with Jack, different ball games, and I remember thinking, I want to be an alumnus like him someday. And Danny, Coach Kenny Osborne was talking to me after Danny got it, and he said his last memory was when the football team almost won a guaranteed game against Indiana State out there. It was 49-49. There's Rodriguez there. We ended up losing 69. And he said there was a lot of emotion after the game, but even though it was lost, there was certainly a feeling that this, we came so far and almost knocked off what he wanted opponent. They said his memory was all Danny was worried about. Because Jack was caught up in all of it, that Jack got his shots after the game. That tells you everything he's got to know about how caring individual he is and how he wants to take care of everyone in the Glenville family. And excited to have him in here, Danny Wiggins.
No longer a lot to do with who I became. And that's Coach Lillard, Coach Hamlin, Coach Dawson, Coach Benson, Coach Rose. Particularly Coach Younger. I became a driver ed instructor, and everything that I learned about teaching driver ed, I got from Coach Ribble, and that came coming here. I could go on with a bunch of memories that I've had. Starting the very first year, we won the conference tournament in basketball, and then we went on and we got into a playoff with that team up north, whose name I don't like to mention. But anyway, we beat them 2 out of 3, and we got the conference trip to the Kansas City tournament. That was my first really good memory. And then a couple years later, Coach Hamlin asked me if I would do the football filming for him. And so yeah, very first year, we go all the way to the national playoffs. And John, I know you scored, and we won that game. But it got taken from us. That's another good memory. And all through the years, all 38 years that I worked and volunteered my time in the athletic department, I did not change it at all. I enjoyed every minute. I think it kept me young. Of course, looking at this hair, you'll wonder why, but and then one of the friendships that I made, and Jesse mentioned that was with Jack. Jack and Charlotte became the second set of parents. And Jack and I worked long and hard at getting the pictures out at the end of them. And it's a shame that some of them have turned up missing. I would like to, hopefully, I'd like to go through and try somehow to get some of those pictures that are missing stories. We can get those back out in the room. But Probably my best memory as a Pioneer fan happened a couple years ago, March 25th. And that's when the girls won it all. I wished I could have been there, but I was glued to my TV in the living room. And I don't think I slept much that night. I was so keyed up. But that's probably my favorite memory, even though I was not involved in any way working and helping like I had been many years before. Excuse me. One of the things that happened while late in my filming career was at my job. I was running driver ed program at the Charleston Golf Course Center, and I met the woman that became my wife, and she's standing back there right now, and she has blessed me with 2 young men. The reason that I stopped the video and filming was I wanted to watch those boys grow up. Had I not stopped to watch them grow up, I might have gone on, I might still be going. but I thought family came first. And I really appreciate this honor, and I want to thank the committee, thank everyone.
Okay, folks, our final induction tonight is a apology. Unfortunately, this great player, great man, Clay Young, has left us past. But he was an All-American who had not been put in yet. Amazing, after 40 years, he's still in the top 10 list of those scoring and rebounding. The 2 boys down from him, my freshman year here over in William Village. Just a wonderful, kind heart. And I want to tell you, I wasn't aware that Justin had done this, but we got the athletic director and guests here at this front table, and there was a rose right there, and that seat was reserved for the memory of Clay Young. And I cried like a 2-year-old in here about the birthday. That was well done. Appreciate that, Dustin. We got to play. We got to play. And he touched a lot of hearts with his teammates with Bill and Tim. Coach Bowman was teammates with him. And you told me he was who you were closest with, on that team. And but anyway, we couldn't get any family members. We weren't able to reach any family members that were still with us. And but his head coach, who recruited him here, he was one of our all favorites. I mentioned a few times tonight, and he graciously agreed to be the one to accept on his behalf, and we wanted that as well. Coach Gary Nottingham.
This actually Jesse knew it was a part of it. It took a while to get it, Jesse, but I do want to thank the members of this committee, the 2020 committee for inducting Clay Young in the Hall of Fame. And I would put this, I think, in my mind, you justly honored one of the all-time great basketball players in Glenville State College basketball history. And I know we've been thrilled, we've been honored, we've been very proud. There's few here today that saw him play, just people doing back. But I will tell you this, whether you saw him play today, or you saw him play, if he was playing in this league today, he would still be the best most player in the college. That's how good he was. And I've been in this business 40 years and coached at every level. So he was just a really good player, a really good person. He was an All-American selection, as Jesse said. He was a two-time All-Conference selection. He was runner-up and player of the year his senior year. He's a GSU, he's a top 10 all-time rebounder and scorer with only 3 years. He scored 1,508 points, 820 rebounds in 3 seasons. We got him out of junior college. His senior year, he averaged a double-double, 20.6 points a game, 11.2 rebounds. So when you look at his 3-year career here, there's enough athletes here, especially basketball players, to understand this. His 3 years of basketball, over 90 games, he averaged 16.7 points per game, 8.9 rebounds. That's pretty amazing. You can't do. So he was a great leader, a great teammate. This guy's here played with him, and a fierce competitor. He was a 6'5" post player, which you say, how could he be? And he dominated people inside. He was an inside scoring machine. It was amazing. He was strong. He had unbelievable upper body strength. He was a powerful leg guy. Amazingly big, strong hands. And we talked about this. His hands were unbelievably strong. He could take the ball, hold it in the hand. We had a manager, if you remember one time, he'd hold the hand and the manager would hit the ball with his fist, everything else. Knock it out. So one day he's going and he tries to pull it out. So he's getting ready to pull it out. Some players fixing the bump up, that kind of stuff. Putting the half on the ground and hold on the ball. And so he had some skill. Ironically, he was a very average athlete. He was not really fast. And actually, he was not a great jumper. I always used to call him a scrape jumper. Because every time he dunked the ball, he had to scrape it over the rim. But he was so ankle and powerful, he could do it. But he was a tremendously skilled guy. He was a low post scoring machine. He got the ball in the paint. He could get the shot. He was a little scorer. He had great footwork. He came out of a great high school program in Euclid, and he was one of the first players I helped recruit as an assistant coach to Coach Little. And some of you people from Ohio, I was in Euclid, Ohio, at a basketball tournament. Actually, that's a great program. At the time I was sitting there recruiting, Doc Doherty was a legendary coach, one of the top coaches in Cleveland high school history, Hall of Famer school, the gym's named after him now. He was telling me about Clay, and he said he's a freshman over at Lakeland Community College. And he said, I think he can play for you. I think he would be a good player. So, we went in the process of recruiting him, and I called him, contacted him, and then we busted him into Glenville on that big bunch of them back then. And we still got his sign. So, and people, a lot of these young people here, these bus used to actually come all the way in from Ohio. And then later on, before my career was over, we came to the Parkersburg, then I'd have to go to Parkersburg again. But, it was an interesting thing. But he also did some things. He opened up a recruiting pipeline in Cleveland that I used for years that I was here. He helped us recruit Kenny Taylor, who's also the very next year. Kenny's a top 10 all-time scorer rebounder here. He helped us recruit John Harris, who's a very player of basketball, one of the great track people here. He helped us recruit Tim Moore's favorite player, Kenny Pretty. Kenny was a guy who, through the course of time, he helped me open up an avenue in Cleveland in that area where I brought players up as I was employed. That was my first year as a head coach when I got here, so I was here 14 years. He brought us a lot of players. He loved Glenville. He's the guy who came back to the program. And he comes in here out of inner city Cleveland, and he liked it from the moment he got here. He also served as a student assistant the next season to work on his degree. He played on Coach Lilly's last team, who was the head coach, and he played on my first team. And so how that came about is Coach Lilly had moved, who was Rocky, you know, I played for him, he hired me back here as assistant. He had moved full-time athletic director. So after that, to make a short story, there was a coaching thing going on, where they hired a person, the person left. So on June, Coach Lilly may be the interim head coach here at the ripe old age of 26. And so I don't know if you understand the sequence, what interim means, but interim means if you win, you get to stay. If you lose, it's been nice knowing. So that's the key to it. So my first move, because again, you know, my first move was to make a play by team captain. And I talked to him about a number of things I thought. And I will say this, for that one single year, he was the best leadership of a team captain by any I had in my 24 years as the head coach of the college game. What he was able to do in the situation we were in was unbelievable. He led by effort, he led by energy, he led by toughness, and he led by positive teamwork. And as Tim will tell you, he was a great teammate as well as a great player. We always had a thing where they brought up where you're talking about running. We had where we had conditioning every year, and so before it didn't get in the gym, we always finished it, and we did things like 14,400 one day and stuff. Probably most of them, I'm not sure back in those days. But anyway, the final thing is you had to, if you were a big man, you had to run a mile in under 5 minutes and 30 seconds, or you didn't get to go to practice. And the way it was done in those days, we had about a 4-day break between practices when we started. Well, the best player on my team doesn't make it for the 4 minutes, or he doesn't make it on his senior year. But, and so actually, to tell you that he runs it 4 times. He has to run it 4 times. 2 times at the track. 10 more is fine. I got half my team coming out and running with me to help me make it because they know they need him at the gym. And finally, he said, he comes to his coach, he goes, I can't do it on the track. So we set it up on the road out there by road, really measured off of how he had it. Kim was one of the guys running with him. And so we put him on there, and he made it with about 15 seconds to spare. He says, Coach, that's psychological with the track. And so, but he was, he's this special. Early in the season, and these are some things about leadership. Early in the season, we're playing Rio Grande, and we really struggled there for a while. And I take the player out of the game just as we're coming into a timeout. And Rio Grande was really good in the days ranked, and we would actually take it to at that point. But when I take him out, as he goes to the end of the bench, of course he's mad, he kicks the chair, the player that I take out. So I get up, start down there to say something to him. Well, before I get there, play goes, grabs him by the back of the neck. This guy's like 6'7", 6'8", that he's grabbed. He says, you get over there, if you pick up that chair, we don't act that way here. And the kid was a freshman. And so, he was a guy who, he actually believed in the program, he believed in everything we were going. But that's why everybody liked him, and that's why everybody believed in him. He was about us winning, he was about North State College, and and as Tim will tell you, he's one of the most positive guys as a teammate that you could ever be around. So anyway, the season, we get ready to go into that first season. We actually, my first year of coaching, I'm really smart. We build our offense around him. And we tell our people in half-court basketball, if he doesn't touch it, you better not shoot it until he touches it. Now, in transition, it's okay, but he better touch that thing when we get in the half-court. Because also he would get double tight inside, and he had already happened to him as a junior. And he always had the ability to find the open person. He was a really good passer, and he would go. Sometimes they would trap him, and he'd snap that thing out there. And the ball's in the air, and he's screaming, "Shoot it!" to the person he's passing it to. And that was the type because he was guys that they were open and good players and stuff like that. But anyway, in that preseason, we were picked 12 of 14 teams. That's not a very good way to start the season. Our 5 starters were returnees from Coach Lilly's team, who was his last team of guys left over, and they were guys that played a bunch of minutes for him, and they were young players and young starters. So we put them. and we had lost track of this. So we had those. So we had 5 starters coming back late. I got the job in June, so I still recruit. We had 2 guys come off the bench. We picked up a couple of freshmen. We picked up a guy named Matthew Bullock as a freshman, and a guy named Steve Watts as a freshman. In case you don't know, they are already Hall of Famers. So that was really good recruiting. And so we had about 10 guys. We had like 7 guys from coach's team. Coach Lewis. We started the season 2-7, so I'm really feeling good about my career. So we played, we're playing Salem College. We're 2-7. We're up here in the old gym. There's 6 ranked in the country. We go about 6'8", 6'9", 6'7". And for the young people here, and that was great as a team in the West Virginia Conference. Folks, you have to understand, there was about 3 pros. I'm talking first or second. There's about 3 pros in the league every year. All right? We had Matt Bullock who was drafted. You know, there was a ton of it. The league, like I said, I've been at every level. The quality of play was unbelievable at that period of time. And Salem was a preseason. I mean, they were ranked number 4 in the country. And so they're coming in. We're 2-7, and you figure, wow, this. But listen, we didn't like each other much either. So the crowd, it's a big. The gym is packed up here. So we're in a close contest. I guess it's about the 10-minute mark as I was counting in the second half, and we go on a scoring run and we take the lead. And the crowd's getting big. And there, we used to have. They were able to fire a musket. You know how they fire the musket in outdoor football games? But when I coached here, they were able to fire the musket in the gym. And the guy who fired the musket on the team is always sitting behind the visitor's bench, so they really love him. All right? So we go in a stretch here, and it's kind of, anyway, it's in the second half. We miss a jumper, and we go on a 10-0 run, and it kind of gets started. We go on about a 10-0 run, and then we miss a jumper at the end of that. As it comes off the rim, Kenny Taylor comes flying down the lane, catches it about elbow high, crushes it over a 6'9" guy. The place goes freaking crazy, and the best thing I can tell you, school was out and the route was over. And that way, the gun was flying and people were dancing, and that game actually is the game that led us to the point that we believe we play was typically dominated itself by 5 players. At West Virginia Tech, and we had a couple of things here that I think are important. At West Virginia Tech, we're playing right can't get home. And they were very good. So we're playing him. Tim was with us on this. He gets hit above the eye. He gets nailed about 5 minutes before halftime. Blood's running down all over his face. He goes down to the locker room. We figure he's done. We come down halftime. We're talking to him. And I walk over. Of course, the doctor's down there. They stitched him up. And I walk over and I check on him. I said, "Clay, are you all right? How you gonna be?" He goes, "Coach, I'm fine. I'm playing." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "I'm ready to play." So we bring him in the second half, and you know what? He was right. Because he ended up with a double-double and totally dominated the game over the next 20 minutes of basketball. His name shaking his head there. It was unbelievable. Again, he was playing against great players. We're playing Fairmont State later on in the season, because at that time it was the premier team. And we're playing late in the game, and I think I when he played the player's name. So he gets a rebound inside the player, chucks him under the throat with a fork, which is a technical foul. He's bound to walk up. So it's a technical, we get the 3 technicals, he comes to the bench, he's spitting up stuff, they're giving him water. He sits there about 5 minutes or so, comes back in the game, and again, after that, I mean, it's total domination. I mean, he again gets another double, and I think he ends up like 30, makes 3 throws, and it's unbelievable how well he plays. And the reason I'm going to say that is because after the game's over, Dave Cooper was a great coach at Fairmont, and we beat them at Fairmont for the first time in like 8 or 9 years. And anyway, as the game's over, we're coming down, and Dave comes up, and Coach Cooper comes up, he shakes my hand, he goes, "What my player did was wrong." He said, "But I want to tell you something. I told my player, don't you ever kiss Clay unhelped again." And so I think when you look at the things that he did, in terms of a leader, he led by example, he led by performance, he led by his loyalty to the school. And honestly, we ended up going 17-14. We finished 4th in the West Virginia Conference. And I I'm named head coach. And that is how my career began. And as I've told people, when I get to the closure of this, there's 2 or 3 things that I mentioned to Jesse, and maybe some of you don't know. Coach Hill gave me my start there. He gave me a job when I was young and full of crap, as people would say. And then all of a sudden, he had enough faith in me to make me a head coach at 26. So as I went down through this, and I told Jesse we had so much attachment to it. The first thing is that we can get ready to close and get out and finish up with here. First, it's ongoing at one long past, but I am forever, as I've told my wife, I'm forever indebted to Coach Jesse. He hired me as assistant. He made me a head coach. He got me a graduate assistant in Western Kentucky, and quite frankly, I owe a 45-year coaching career. He doesn't give me the chances he gave me. Number 2, I'm grateful to all members of 1985 team. Because again, if we lose, I'm out of a job. We won in a memorable season, and I stayed here, as Jesse said, for 14 years. And finally, what I want to say is I'm very proud to play young. Very proud of what the people have done here in honoring him. He's now he was an All-American. He's now a Hall of Famer 2024. Because of this committee, his name will be here in a lasting legacy for all to remember. And I'm thankful for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This has been a very special evening. Again, these are always wonderful ways to celebrate Glenville's all-time greats. Some advice to all of your judges. I'm going to give you the advice of get as many pictures as you can get after and do all you want. This is your night. And again, the Waco Center is open. The plaques are on the wall. The reveal was happening. We got here to get some pictures out there, and now on display on the concourse. Thank you for your time this evening. God bless Glenville, West Virginia, the center of the universe.